Finally, the voice of reason has come back to Piers Morgan Uncensored. And I'm referring to Jordan Peterson, just in case you're new to the channel. We're talking Trump today, so should be a doozy. Let's get it popping.
I'm still here with Dr. Jordan Peterson, my special guest tonight. Jordan, Donald Trump, what is he? Is he a narcissist, a sociopath, a psychopath? All of those things, none of them?
I don't think that he's a psychopath because he's been successful in repeated enterprises over long periods of time, and he has a variety of people who remain intensely loyal to him. Now, he's definitely extroverted to a very great degree, and he's definitely disagreeable. And so that gives him some of the traits that are associated with those personality features. But from what I've been able to understand, he's also very conscientious and hardworking, for example. And so that's a real mitigating factor. And so I think it's very easy to demonize someone that you don't approve of, let's say, and certainly Trump has been subject, I would say, to more demonization than any political leader in the West that I can remember in my entire lifetime, including Richard Nixon. And so that's also set him back on his heels and made him somewhat embattled and defensive, which I don't think did any great things for his personality in some real sense. So I think it's a mistake to assume that Trump is a psychopath. I think it's a big mistake. I think it's a big mistake to assume that Putin is a psychopath. It's easy to do that, but I don't think the evidence suggests that. You don't want to throw those labels around casually. And, you know, if Trump was psychopathic, well, he did a pretty good job of keeping the United States clear of war for 4 years. That's pretty damn remarkable. And
Amen.
He did have a big hand in promoting the Abraham Peace Accords, and that was pretty remarkable. And those aren't the sorts of things that you would expect from a psychopath. He also seems to have a pretty good hand with the working class. So I don't think it's those are reasonable diagnostic labels to.
You're sounding like I wouldn't say
place on someone.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you sound like you're a bit of a fan of Donald Trump. Would you like him to run again? Would it be good for America, do you think?
No, I don't think it would be good for America. Would it be good for him to run? That's a difficult question, because it might be that it would be good for America to have whether or not Donald Trump should be president sorted out in the public sphere, debated intensely, and subject to an election. So it might be very interesting to see him put himself forward on the Republican ticket. If I had my druthers, and I say this, I hope with due care, I would rather see someone like DeSantis step forward, who shares some of that forthright strength, let's say, that characterizes Trump at his best, but seems to be a more cautious administrator and a less divisive figure. I think that would be better, because Trump, for whatever virtues he might have, and I think he has the virtues of a Washington outsider, I think that's quite clear. I think that his behavior in the political realm raises the political temperature to a dangerous degree.
Yeah.
And, I say that while trying to give the devil his due and not casting careless aspersions on his name.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Now, first off, before I get into it and give my take on it and my perspective on the whole Donald Trump running 2024 versus DeSantis or whoever you want to throw in there as the next candidate, we need more people like Jordan Peterson in public discourse. And he comes with reason. He comes with common sense and a different perspective. Plus, he's a Canadian, and he's very inquisitive. He's very intellectual, and he always comes correct, in my personal opinion. You may disagree. You may think Jordan's crazy. It is what it is. You're entitled that right. But I think it was hilarious when Piers Morgan started asking about anyone being a narcissist, because Piers Morgan is always on the most negative side of things, always making issues out of nothing or making some negative situation into more than it actually is. So I thought that was hilarious that Piers Morgan started asking a question about somebody being a psychopath or a narcissist. But in regards to this interview right here, this is the best Piers Morgan one I've ever seen. He actually let his guests speak, and he let them come on, and before he tried to interrupt or interject, or it just looked like he was just waiting to get his point across, he was actually listening, slow to speak, quick to listen. So that right there, respect to Piers for that one. That's what all his segments should look like. Now, as far as Big 45, Donald Trump is concerned, the fact that the establishment hates him, that he's different, that he's outspoken, that he calls BS like it is, and he calls anything out and tries to, drain the swamp, as his saying would go, that makes me support him even more. He's brilliant. He's finally back on Twitter, so that's a blessing. And he calls out the nonsense that people are so afraid to. He calls out the stuff that people are afraid of ruffling feathers. People are afraid of calling out sin and evil things going on in the world when they see it. They're afraid to do that. And although he's not perfect, you're not perfect, I'm not either, I don't hold his past against him. I thought he did a great job as president, and he drove the left crazy. He drove people in general crazy on all sides because he was so unique and he wasn't a politician. That's why he got into office, because we've seen the same thing for year and year and year and decade after decade, and we wanted something different. We wanted to give it a try. And I thought, as far as statistics are concerned, as far as what he did for the economy, as far as what he did for the black community, even though I believe there's one race, the human race, some people take that as cliche and they don't buy into that. That's okay. But if you're talking about straight facts, what he did for HBCUs, low black unemployment rates, what he did all across the board, all his policies that he said he was going to do, and he executed on those. So as far as coming through and delivering on the promises that he made, not just going up there looking all flashy and fancy and well-spoken and polished like Barack Obama, not Joe Biden, because, you know, he don't even know where he's at 99% of the time. But a lot of these career politicians, they sound sweet. Everything sounds good. But when they actually get into office, when they actually have the position and the ability to make a difference, they don't. Donald Trump did. And that's why I will always support him. And I think we should get him in office for one more term. And then you can have DeSantis with 2 whole terms. I think we could do a lot more MAGA for one more term. I think that'd be great for America. Say what you want about the person, but as a leader, as a president, he did a great job. Vladimir Putin, any leader you see around the world, they didn't take him as a joke like they do with Grandpa Joe. They took him serious, and they know not to cross that boundary. They know not to overstep, because Trump will be quick to attack. Could you just imagine having to endure the things that Trump and his family have the past 6 years? Like, most people would be crying like babies. They wouldn't have the thick enough skin. They wouldn't have the endurance, the mental fortitude to get through that. The fact that he gets persecuted how he does, and he still goes out there to put America first always, how can you not respect that? How can you not admire that? Again, everybody has demons in their closet, things that they've done in their past that they would love to take back or that they're not proud of, but that's his past. Everybody has one. Everybody sinned. Unless you're Jesus Christ, which none of us are, then you're not perfect. But if you're pursuing that path to perfection, if you're looking to God, if you're looking to the one king on the throne, then it's all going to work itself out. If you're baptized in Jesus' name, you're good. You're saved. That's the goal. And as far as I know, Trump is trying to walk in faith. I don't know how that's going for him, but I'm praying for him, just like you should be praying for everybody on all sides. I'm praying for everybody. But as far as America is concerned, I think Trump has proven himself, and he deserves another term. Now, Jordan Peterson, I doubt he voted for Trump back in 2016. I doubt, from the growth process I've seen him have, I highly doubt that he was in support of Trump. So that goes a long way with one of the greatest and most refreshing minds of our time back in Trump. Although he didn't give a straightforward, like, I'd vote for him. He kind of said that he would go for DeSantis, but in all seriousness, I think if it came down to it, Jordan, if he had to cast that ballot today, he would vote for Big 45 and make him number 47. Like Grover Cleveland, he would be the only president to get elected to 2 terms in separate, segments. What do y'all think, though? Do you think it would be better to have Trump for 1 term and then DeSantis for 8? Not have Trump at all, just get DeSantis straight away in there, or Kayleigh or somebody else? What would y'all do as far as our country is concerned? If you're not from here, I still would love to hear your opinion. But if you are an American, you should be standing up for our country. Americans, not Americans. So stand up, be patriots, take pride in the country that you live in. Stop giving all this virtue signaling, this wokeism, all these false ideologies and nonsense, caving into genders and abortion and all that. What would y'all do to really stand up for our country? Who do you think would be in the best possible position to actually execute on the things that they say they're going to do, to actually make a stand and make a difference in a positive direction? What do y'all think down below in the comments? If you're new, this is the part in the video where I take it to scripture, dish out some biblical soul food, which should be the easiest and best thing for you to ever digest. But if you want to leave, I understand, but I highly encourage you to listen to this message, because at the end of the day, this is all that matters. This is the most important thing. If you're not saved, if you're not walking in faith, if you're not walking the righteous path and you're walking in sin and truth is relative to you, you're not looking to God, you're doing it all wrong, because then everything has no purpose. When you're done, you're done. When you're done on this side of the grass, there's nothing to look forward to. There's no eternal peace, salvation, and afterlife. There's none of that. There's nothing to strive for whatsoever. You just live for fleshly sin and temptation, and then you're dead. That's not the way I'm choosing to go. So I'm going to take over to Matthew 11, verses 28 through 30. This is Jesus speaking. He said, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." So when you come to a crossroads, when you come to some trial, some tribulation that God puts in front of you for whatever reason, I can't fathom it. I'm just a mere mortal, a human being. Everything he uses for his purpose, and everything has a season. But when you face those things, if you're not leaning on Christ, if you're not leaning on that understanding, and you're trying to figure it all out on your own, it always leads to darkness. It always leads to depression, anxiety, whatever, trial, some tribulation and feeling you don't want to experience, you want to insert in there. That's what it leads to, and ultimately death, if you keep trying to do it on your own and you never have the love of God in you. You never have the love of Jesus Christ and the recognition for what he did on the cross, and then beat that. So pray for him to open your eyes and say, "Lord, lead me wherever you need me to go, and I have complete faith in your plan." Try that. I promise you to change your life, and life as a whole for everybody would be the best. And one more, because why not? From Galatians 6, verse 10, it says, "So then, as we have opportunity, let us do good to everyone, and especially to those who are of the household of faith." So if you know they're a Christian person, if you know they're a believer and walking in faith, or trying to attempt to do so, like the Donald Trumps of the world that he says he's trying to do, give them the benefit of the doubt, and especially look out for them, take care of them, uplift them as best as you can. Because if you're just constantly tearing down, picking sides, bashing and belittling, whether it's you're bashing a liberal, bashing a conservative, whatever it is, then what are you actually doing? What makes you any better than them? Did Jesus sat with the sinners? He sat with the tax collectors. But if you're not out there striving to uplift the world, uplift everybody, loving your neighbor as you love yourself, then it makes you no different than the person that you're demonizing, like the Donald Trumps. If all you do is bash, that you're not any different. You're not any better. We're all on the same playing field. We're all here trying to strive for the best life that we possibly can. But the only way to do that is with love. The only way to do that successfully is to have faith in the one true King, the Messiah, Emmanuel. So that's how you need to start living your life moving forward. And again, some of y'all could disagree all day long. That is what it is. But this is what I know to be the truth. This is what I'm going to always spread. And that's the gospel on this channel. That's how we stand. For me and my house, we're going to believe in the Lord. For me and my house, we're going to stand on love and a godly foundation. That's how I roll. So, but if you like today's video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, notification bell. That means ring that bell so you can stay notified anytime I post a video, just in case YouTube doesn't show it in your subscription feed or whatever may have you. Just because I stand on Christian values, YouTube might not support that. It is what it is. So definitely make sure you got the notifications on. Comment your thoughts below. Like I said, let's keep this conversation rolling. Even if we disagree, we can still be respectful, and I still love you and want the best for you and yours. But outside of that, if you want to support my channel, you can buy this Waymaker shirt down below in the description section. It's made by my lovely wife over in her Etsy store. She's got a bunch of different designs, Christian, American, all sorts of stuff that I know you can benefit from, and I know it'll just look good on you because we got all different sizes, petite teat to big, no discrimination, all different colors. You get it bleached like this one, no bleach. If you're just regular, you could do that as well. But make sure you go check that out in the description section. Until next time, I love y'all. I'm praying for you. Hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving, or whenever you're seeing this. Godspeed. I'm gone.